Get that elbow up, get the ball up high.
Yep. Hey, same thing, your hands.
They want to see me fall, and I will never sell my soul.
You know, kind of a little bit of a continuation of our OTAs in the summer, honestly, because some of the drills you are doing, some of the drills you can't do. But you know, good carryover from a schematic standpoint. You know, just the helmets on, spider pads on, just learning how to practice. You know, just hadn't had that element of our practice. I know we've had 14, 15 of them during the summer, but just learning how to continue to practice. You know, I think there's some guys that are new, that are learning our tempo when we're out there 11 on 11. But I saw guys flying around, good retention and scheme. But you know, style of play is where the focus is, and that's what we'll continue to drive home this next couple of weeks.
You prep, and now you're finally getting a chance to do this full bore. How much of a relief is that, I guess, that you get that process rolling?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're ready for the next phase. You know, you're ready to you know, see what happens next. You know, and what's our next progression. You know, we talked about it as a team last night, and all this is what we've been doing in OTAs. We're just going to put a helmet on and turn it up a pace. And then in about 3 or 4 days, we're going to put pads on. Now, you're going to have two things that are different than OTAs. We're going to have a lot of situations that you're going to be able to prove you're a smart football player. And then you're going to have plenty of opportunities for contact. So you got to show your contact courage. So, you know, yes, it's a little bit like summer, but we're kind of done learning the scheme. We're kind of done learning how we're supposed to play. Now it's time to go out there and show that you can operate in situations, you can play physically, and you can be dependable, and you can play at a consistent level to where we can trust you, and you can be one of the 72 that get on the plane and go help us win.
Devin's a guy who's been here. This is his 7th year. Been here longer than you have. I mean, what is it? How big is it to have a guy like that in a pretty young receiver room?
It's huge. Number one, he's productive, so it's always good to have a productive player. Number two, he's a good person, a good teammate. He's been through a lot of adversity, so he can share those stories with the other guys in the room. I think the other guys in the room know he's kind of, you know, cemented himself as a starter. So, you know, I even brought it up in the team meeting last night. You know, there's certain people that are trying to earn a position, and they've got a direct opponent that they're competing against every day to get a job. And then there's some people that, not many, but there's some people that have been around for 7 years, like Devin Voisin, that has a job, that he just has to go out there and beat his best self every day. And so that's the biggest challenge for somebody like Devin, who's played a lot of football, is just how do I go out there and, you know, probably Jeremiah Thomas, who's brand new, probably ain't going to push me, you know, the way Jamal Pritchett did last year, or Jeremiah Webb or Shamar Sangren. So the way he goes out and works, regardless of having a starting job, shows the guys in that room how they need to work and how they need to approach their job.
Noticed this in the spring, but it seems like he's really concentrated on getting in better shape than he was before.
Yeah, I think you know, I've been through that situation, but not at that position where you actually have to be a runner and an athlete, you know. So his rehab after an ACL is a hell of a lot different than a quarterback. So he was trying everything he could to get back to that top end speed, you know, and it's just hard to get there in a year. And he wanted to add weight, protect himself, and then I really feel like, you know, like what the doctors told me, and the same thing they kind of told Devin, is about 18 months you'll start feeling like your old self again. And his body weight's in, you know, he's in great shape. He's in great form right now.
Blaine is the defensive player of the year in the preseason. Just what have you seen out of him kind of through the process?
You know, obviously missed the whole spring with the shoulder, but that was something that he and we felt was vital for him to have the year that he wants to have this year. Never a false step, you know, never a lack of attention. You know, he's, you know, missed the physical, but got all the mental in the spring, helped others. I see how aggressive he's been since he's been able to start lifting, and how he's gained that weight back quickly and got his body back in shape. You know, just when you have a shoulder surgery, it's unavoidable. You're just going to shrink up top, you know, and he went, but it didn't last long. And so he's done a great job of getting back, and he'll be ready to go.
What do you want to see today versus, say, in a week or 2 weeks? What's that building process before you get into actual game week prep?
You know, I'm waiting. I want to see again tomorrow. I just want to see the response, you know, from today, from a few of them in terms of just effort and finish. But for the most part, it was pretty good. The biggest thing that I'm looking for down the line is just when the pads come on. and we get enough volume of offense and defense in, and the situations start to multiply, and it's not as black and white. There's several different things bouncing through their heads, just how they can retain and play at a physical, fast pace. That's what I really want to see in the first scrimmage, is how fast and how physical. And then the second scrimmage is probably going to be more of the same, but how much of the situational stuff in the scheme can they retain, and can they be consistent?
It was rough.
You're seventh.
Seventh first day. It doesn't get any easier. Yeah, we just got a lot of new guys that, got to keep going. We had about 4 guys go out, which, was a little harder on the rest of us, so we should get those guys going. But other than that, just production, just more production. It's first day, there's always going to be those things that you need to correct, but it's all about not making the same mistake next time.
Yeah, we joked about this at media days, but you've been here almost half the time they've had a football team here. I mean, what kind of blow your mind when you hear that?
It does, but it's also a blessing at the same time. Missing 2 seasons because of injury, and then with COVID happening, it's a blessing that I get to play, my 4 full years. And so, yeah, it's kind of crazy that I've been here probably longer than every coaching staff, everyone on the coaching staff and the players. But like I said, it's also a blessing.
Looked like in the spring you really concentrated on getting in better shape.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you're out there running around?
I feel really good. Like I mentioned earlier, those guys going out, it was a lot harder on us today, so that's why I locked up at the end. But it's all about just, getting stronger, because fall camp first day is always the hardest. Being in the sun, being in the heat, all that. It's just, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just preparing your body for game day so those things don't happen.
I know being a leader is nothing new for you, but there are a lot of young receivers on this team. Just how do you bring those guys along?
Just leading by example. I'm not really that big of a vocal guy. Like, you're not going to hear me yelling and stuff like that. But that's something Coach Petrino has been telling me to work on, because everyone does look up to me. I mean, I'm old, right? And so they look up to me, and I got to set the standard for them.
Having your position coach as the OC, what's that been like?
It's awesome. Yeah, it's really awesome, because he knows the plays I like, and then vice versa. We talk all the time. He knows what I'm good at, and he's going to put me in position to make a lot of plays this year.
We've asked about this before, but you're not playing with Jaden anymore.
Right.
What's that like?
It's new. It's a little weird, but at the same time, it's also like they're not calling me twin anymore. They're not calling me voice, and it's Devin. And so, that's for the first time in 24 years, people are calling me Devin rather than Jaden or twin or which one are you or voice. And so there's 2 sides of it. It was awesome that, there was blood on the team with me, but now it's just, I got to get closer with all the other guys.
Yeah, but you have the young guys kind of catch your eye through the summer. And
Actually, the 2 freshmen that came into the summer, Trey and JT. His name's Jeremiah, but we call him JT. But yeah, those 2 guys, they've been coming a long way. You can see that they're learning each day. They're not making the same mistakes, and they know the plays, which is good. You don't see them making a lot of MAs, and you saw JT making a few plays today. Trey's been looking really good, especially yesterday looked really good. And just getting them from that raw state into, crisp, they'll be awesome.
It was good, just hot, a little hot, but I mean, it's just part of it. So
I know we're way early, but defensively, what are some of the improvements you want to see as we get ready to go?
Well, I always want to just improve myself. I'm kind of just looking at myself really and what I can do to get better. But I mean, coaches will stay and watch film and tell us what we need to do as a unit. So.
Having missed the spring, do you feel that much better being back out there now?
I feel pretty good. In the summer, I was a little rusty, but I've gotten back into it, and I feel really good. Got a little break for my body, so it was good.
I know you won't really know until you get into the contact part of it, but your shoulder and everything feels
yes,
good.
sir. Yes, sir. I went to the doctor the other day, and he said I'm good to do anything. So.
It's funny. Last year, it was like the linebackers were the position nobody knew about. Now it's kind of these are the guys that everybody knows. What's it like to kind of see that shift?
We just gotta keep working. I mean, can't let it get to us. Can't let up. So just keep working.
Dalton Hughes is back. What do you see now?
He's looking really good. He's tired of wearing that brace, but I mean, he says he feels good. So.
Sunbelt Defensive Player of the Year. What does that mean to you? Do you like that? Do you not like it?
I mean, it's cool, but it's just preseason stuff. So I mean, it's not that. It's not that big of a deal, I guess. I don't know.